Hello everyone. Chances are fairly high you start your day with a big cup of coffee. Either a venti from Starbucks, a coffee from any other coffee store, from a vending machine or a classic homebrew coffee. Choices are pretty big these days, depending on where you live of course. Imagine this, you're on vacation in beautiful Switzerland. Financially you're well off, so you're spending your holidays in Zermatt, in a small Airbnb. However, you cannot find any coffee in your apartment, so you take the 5-minute walk to the grocery store. You remember that your miserable Airbnb host doesn't even have a coffee machine in his apartment, probably because he's one of the noble tea enjoyers. So you look around and find this exact instant coffee. Jackpot, you might think. But as you inspect the glass, you might ask yourself, how in the world does coffee get up in one of the highest alpine towns in the world? Join our way to the detailed and nerdy trip around the world. As the packaging of your coffee says, the beans originate from southern Mexico. To be exact, they originate from one of these 11 regions. All the beans for your instant coffee are grown and harvested by small local farmers on their own coffee plantation. After the beans got harvested, the coffee fruit gets dried up in the sun, and after that gets fermented also by the farmers. As soon as one of these 11 regions has formed enough coffee, all the farmers from that particular town get together and send their produce to San Fernando. They usually rent one truck together to transport all the beans to San Fernando. In the city of San Fernando, you can find the coffee union. Officially it's called that way, but I'm definitely not gonna pronounce that. This union forms the middleman between the individual farmers in Mexico and the international market, and allows them to participate in the international market. At the warehouse of the union in San Fernando, the coffee gets registered, weighed and dried up even more, so it's ready for shipping. As soon as they have collected enough coffee, they fill up a whole container with coffee beans and send it to the port of Veracruz. The container full with coffee beans then gets transported to the port of Veracruz, where it gets loaded onto a massive cargo ship. It's possible that your coffee got transported by the Portocelli, a container ship which is currently located in the Gulf of Mexico. It made the trip from Mexico to Europe just a few weeks ago. With a stop in Florida, it usually takes up about 3 to 4 weeks until our ship arrives in Europe. It arrives in the Netherlands at the port of Rotterdam. There it gets loaded off the massive cargo ship onto another ship, but this time a way smaller one. Within 4 to 5 days, this tiny boat drives up the Rhine River from the Netherlands through Germany to its final destination, Switzerland. Our container full of coffee beans then gets loaded off in Basel and takes about a 10-minute truck ride to the conveniently close located coffee roastery. At the factory, the coffee beans now get roasted, not like your favorite rapper in the last street battle, but quite in a different way. After the roasting process, our beans now get grinded up and packed into the glass container that you might be holding right now. Before the packages now get sent out, they get labeled first and are then distributed to one of the major supermarket chains in Switzerland. From Basel, our coffee now gets transported with a truck or with a cargo train to the distribution center, the supermarket chain Coop. From their nationwide distribution center, it gets stored until a store has run out or sold enough of these instant coffees. It then gets loaded onto another truck and again gets transported up to the high mountains to Zermatt. In the end, before you can even buy your coffee, it travels about 9,000 miles. Or for our metric people, about 14,400 kilometers. It takes about 1 to 2.5 months until our Mexican coffee beans become a glass of instant coffee in the supermarket of Zermatt. And all this just to stimulate your caffeine addiction. Now you know, think before you drink your next coffee and smash that subscribe button.